head. You can say whatever you want to about a hunter. And yeah, I take lives with a bow, with a gun, whatever. If you think we're cruel to animals, you can kiss the fattest part of my ass.
Hey guys, what's up? Well, welcome back for another episode. Just want to give a shout out to the Ready Safe Survival Tins and the Head Cleaner. We still have the survival tins, so if you would like a couple, be sure to comment in the video below and we will get you those along with a hat. So without further ado, let's jump right in. Piss break's over.
Okay, pee break over. We kind of had to go back and watch and see where we were at because
I had to break the seal.
we had to decompress a little bit. It was getting really, really heavy and really serious.
But to answer your question, like to answer all that, my kid saved lives, and that made it easier.
And that's so cool.
Yeah.
And I just want to reiterate, this was not expected. We literally started this podcast going, what are we going to talk about? And we have went down
Drug
a
usage.
wormhole.
Yeah.
From drug use to
prior to medical
kids in the hospital to everything. We came
up with a new shot.
I do love, yeah. I don't know if we're gonna call it STS because that sounds too much like STD.
Perfect.
I have currently never had one that I know of.
No, but you've had an STS shot.
I have had an STS shot. I kind of like dirty banana. If you do us a favor, if you've stuck with us this long and you're still watching,
the brown banana.
We need a name for this.
Yeah.
So it's PB.
That bottle is
chocolate, peanut butter.
I don't know, but if you get bored,
whiskey.
If you get bored,
and Old Smokies moonshine banana. It's amazing. It's really good. We were only going to do one shot to end the episode, and I think we're like 4 deep.
But no, you talked about the Ronald McDonald House.
Okay, so let me go into that just a little bit.
That place.
So the Ronald McDonald House.
For anyone that doesn't know, that's what when you go to McDonald's.
When you go to McDonald's,
change thing on the sides, that's what that's for, and I will tell you, it is for a great cause.
So the Ronald McDonald House. They are big contributors in Children's Mercy Hospital. And
they have a section.
I'm not a guy. I don't know. I'm probably like every other guy. I don't want no charity. I don't want no freaking handouts.
It's a pride thing.
I'm going to do what I got to do, and I don't need anybody's help. It's a guy thing. It's a pride thing. And not the rainbow pride. It's a pride thing. Yeah, I said it. But the Ronald McDonald House is probably one of the coolest things I've ever experienced in my whole life. Because I went in there.
Hey, you ever look at your microphone?
Purely with the idea that I didn't want a handout. And the lady goes, "You're going to be here for a while. You need to utilize whatever you can." And she try to conserve, because I mean, not that I care, because material things don't matter to me. I obviously still have my kid.
Yeah.
You don't.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's two opposite ends of the spectrum. I told that lady, I said, if you can make sure I get to go home with my kid, I don't care what I have to do. And
I forgot.
The Ronald McDonald House, she's like, look, you need to get away from here. Granted, we're going on, I don't know how many days.
Yeah.
And I have not left that NICU unit.
Yeah.
I haven't had a shower. The lady told me, she said, you can't sleep in here. I said, well, what if I don't sleep?
Oh, at the time you
could not stay the night inside that NICU unit.
No, but you could take a nap.
Yeah, no. She told me, she said, if you go to sleep, I have to ask you to leave. Yeah. She said, you have to be awake when you're in here. And I'm like, okay. She goes, I can bend the rules a little bit. I'm like, all right. So I wouldn't leave that room unless my ex-wife was in there.
Yeah.
So it was one of them, somebody has to be in here all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I'm not going to let my kid wake up from a brain surgery, because they went through all these statistics with us right before he had surgery. They're like, look, he could wake up and not know anybody. He could wake up and be totally restarted.
Yeah.
He could wake up and not be able to function.
Yeah.
Like they give us all this shit and they're like, we could lose him on the operating table. And I looked right at Dr. Grant, if you're still around or you ever see this, I love you, dude. Dr. Grant was head over the neurology department in Chicago at the biggest neurology hospital that I know of in the United States. He was that guy. And I looked right at him and I said, this is not a threat. This is a promise. I said, if my kid doesn't come out of that operating room, you better fucking run.
Yeah.
And he's like, he's going to be fine. He's in the best hands on the planet. And knowing what I know now, I'm like, I shouldn't have threatened him. But like you said, I think I was 21 or 22 when my son was born.
Yeah.
I was a kid.
Yeah.
I was a baby, raising a baby. I didn't know anything. All I knew was I had him for a year and a half, and you're not fucking taking him away from me.
Right. All right, I'm taking a shot. This is a cheers to just Children's Mercy in general.
Yeah. And to the kids.
The children. That sounds weird. That one you went stout on the whiskey.
I did. That one gave me goosebumps.
Whoa.
So we get that all done. He gets out of there. But they're like, you can't leave.
There you go.
Got a little something?
That's a wet shit on your face.
A little something. And she's like, you can't sleep in this unit. Okay.
Oh.
So, like you said earlier, I don't know how many hours I'd went without going to sleep because there's no real light in there and you don't have a perception of day and nighttime.
Yeah. And
that nurse, I wish I could remember her name too. She's like, you need to go hang out somewhere out of here.
Yeah.
And this was way before COVID. Way before any of that stuff.
This is years ago.
Yeah. And she's like,
2 decades.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Right?
She goes, just go take some time for yourself. And I'm like, I don't want to. She's like, I know, but you need to. She's like, you're draining.
I have 2 stories that
I finally left and walked across the street to Ronald McDonald House. And
here's across the street?
It was just to the south there.
The one I talked about was in the hospital. It's in the hospital.
No,
now.
This is the actual house.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just across the street on the south side of Children's Mercy. So we walk up there, and it's a beautiful home. Mm-hmm. It's like a 3-story house. It's got like 50 bedrooms.
Yeah.
And I walked in, and they got a lady there at the front desk, and she goes,
amazing food.
Oh, yeah. She goes, what are you here for? And I told her, and she's like, okay. Well, let me look. And she looks through the folder, and she goes, they sent paperwork over for you. And I'm like, okay, what's that for? She goes, nothing, just to say that you were coming.
Yeah.
She said, I need you to sign this. And I'm like, okay. So I signed it. And she goes, now let me take you for a tour. And I'm like, the heck?
Yeah.
So we walk around this house. Dude, it's the most beautiful home you've ever been in your whole life.
Yeah.
Like a full-on chef's kitchen.
Oh, it's immaculate what they do.
4 or 5 living rooms.
Yeah.
With big screen TVs in them and everything. And this is 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And all these different bedrooms. And she goes, we're going to give you such and such bedroom. And every bedroom, every bedroom in that house is named after a child that didn't make it, that parents stayed in the Ronald McDonald House. Your boy may have one in there. I mean, for all I know.
Yeah.
So they're all named. They're all, and it's heavy. So we walk around in there and she goes, you're going to be in this room. And I'm like, okay. She goes, there's towels in this closet. This is where the bathroom's at. And she looks at me and winks. And this lady is probably...
She's an older lady, I bet.
Yeah, she's probably in her 40s. I mean, it's funny that I say that. I'm 46. Yeah. She's probably late 40s, early 50s. And she goes, you need a shower and a nap.
Yep.
And I'm like, I'm fine.
That is their go-to line.
I'm like, I'm fine.
It's wild.
And she goes, no, you're not.
Yeah.
She said, do me a favor. She said, just take a shower and go lay down. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Dude, I literally woke up, and I don't know how many days I'd lost.
Yeah.
Or should I say, when I went to sleep, the sun was up, and when I woke up, the sun was up, but it was not the same day. I don't know if I slept a full day.
Like 12, 14
Or,
hours.
I slept. Oh, I slept so hard. And I woke up straight panic mode. And my mom was still there. And my ex-wife was back at the hospital. I say that. She never left the hospital.
Yeah.
She went after I got back and stayed there. Because we were all going in shifts. And I'm like, oh my God, I got to go. I got to leave. I've been gone too long.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on. And
Why
I don't
the
want him.
fuck does this
I didn't
is so
want him.
Weird.
It is. I didn't want him to wake up without me. So.
No, because what you're telling me, oh my God, just keep going.
You've lived it.
I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you a few things when you're done.
So I get there and I'm like,
not going to be a Burt Kreischer.
What happened? What happened? And they're like, nothing. Everything's the same.
Stable, fine.
Everything's fine. We're keeping him in a medical induced coma.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so how long is this going to last? And she's like, well, we got to wait till certain vitals get to a certain stage before we start waking him up. We don't want him to be in pain when he wakes up. And it's so crazy because Rid is 14.
Yeah.
His name is Ridley. My in-laws have called him the Riddler.
Yeah.
Or Rid Man. He's got all these nicknames.
It's not the Riddler.
Oh, listen, it's off of Batman. All right. So mind you, he's 14.
Yeah.
My oldest is 22.
Mm-hmm.
When he come out of that surgery, he's got a question mark scar on the side of his head.
That's fucking
And the
wild.
bottom of it goes right down in front of his ear.
Yeah.
And when they brought him out, he's still under. We're going to the NICU unit after his surgery. I said, check it out. And they're like, what? I said, his scar looks like the Riddler. And they go, what? I said, the question mark. You know, he puts it on everything. It's always a riddle. I said, he's the Riddler. And the lady goes, well, his scar's not too big. I said, ma'am, I don't care. Chicks dig scars.
Yeah, they do.
That's exactly what I told this nurse. I said, it doesn't matter, ma'am. Chicks dig scars.
What is that movie?
And she goes, I've never really thought about it that way, but you're right, they do. I said, he's gonna be a ladies' man.
Yeah.
And she's like, I love the way you think. She's like, but I don't think you'll be able to see it. To this day, dude, and I cut his hair.
Oh, the replacements.
I cut his hair.
Yeah.
And when you cut his hair, he still has, and it messed his hairline up, but you don't notice it until you cut it super short. I'll cut him with a 0 guard, faded up into a 2 guard.
Yeah.
And you can see this question mark. It's all in his hairline and about this much right in front of his ear where they took it out. And me and Courtney were talking about it one night, and I was like, you know, it's crazy, babe. I said, I hear your parents calling Ridman the Riddler. I'm like, I called Dylan the Riddler because of his question mark scar.
Yeah. So you brought up the whole sleeping thing.
Mm-hmm.
I remember it was day 2. Okay, so when my son was born, I had drove from Lincoln, Nebraska with my ex-wife. Well, she wasn't my ex-wife at the time. Lincoln, Nebraska, straight through to Fort Scott, overnight. Kendon was born early morning. So drove straight through. Left Mercy at the time. Drove straight to Children's Mercy. Hadn't slept. It was day 3. Into day 2, day 3. And my mom goes, we're going to go home. They said he's perfectly stable. He's fine. We are going to go home, or we're going to go to, it was a guy that helped raise my ex-wife at the time. He lives in Kansas City. He has a huge 3-story house.
Right.
Like, we're going to stay in his house.
Right.
He said we could stay there. He was like her grandpa.
Right.
So she's like, my mom said we're gonna go to G's house. Shout out to G. We're gonna eat, we're gonna relax, we're gonna shower, we're gonna go to bed. And I'm like, fine. Like, I knew the doctors and nurses said he's stable. So we went and my mom goes, I was like, Mom, I have a headache. I mean, I hadn't slept.
Yeah.
So she gave me what I thought was 3 Tylenol.
Mm-hmm.
She gave me
she
2
drugged your ass
Tylenol
up.
and a Xanax. Well, when I went to bed, it was like 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. My stepdad was there, so we had drank some beer, just kind of relaxed.
Right.
And so my mom gave me that. I went to bed. I had full intentions of waking up because rounds were at 9.
Right.
I had full intentions of waking up and being at the hospital at 8 o'clock with coffee and ready to go.
For rounds.
I
Yep.
fucking woke up at noon.
Panic mode.
I woke up. I was like, oh, sun's up. Granted, it's August. I mean, fucking sun's up. Cool. Check my fucking phone. 11, almost noon. I come out of that fucking bedroom.
Straight panic
fucking
mode.
mad. No, I was mad. I said, what in the fuck? Who didn't wake me up? And my mom goes, you're fine. You slept. I said, fuck you. I'm leaving. I grabbed my mom's car keys and was walking down the stairs because he had one of those, like, it had a base. It had the garage that went into, like, the downstairs.
Split
It had,
level.
like, a bar. Then it went upstairs, then went upstairs.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm fucking leaving. So and she was like, if you leave in my car without me, I'm reporting it as stolen. You need to calm down. It's fine. I've already called the hospital. It's fine. Kylie's there. It's fine. And I was like, I was like, why did I not hear my alarm? And my mom goes, I gave you a Xanax to calm you down. I had got it from a friend of mine to calm you down.
Yeah.
And you slept. I fucking hated my mom for that so much.
Oh, yeah.
But, and then you brought up the Ronald McDonald House thing. We had been there for like 2 or 3 more days. I hadn't left or ate or nothing. And the nurse goes, that's when he switched rooms and we had Katie. And she's like, why don't you go check out the Ronald McDonald House? I heard they have really good food. It's in the hospital. It's great. Well, see, they have that floor in the hospital too.
And see, I never did it. I was
like, okay, we'll go check it out. So we walked in there, and my mom was like, hi. She explained what's going on. And like you said, they went over and looked.
Yep.
And they found my name. Well, this time it was on a computer. Pulled up my name, and they're like, yep, we already got his information right here. And the lady, and it was an older lady, gray hair.
Yep.
And she goes, are you hungry? I said, no, ma'am, I'm not. I hadn't ate in 3 days. I was like, no, ma'am, I'm not. And she's like, why don't you here? And she handed me a key. She goes, go in there. Do you have clothes? I said, no, ma'am, I don't. And she goes, okay. How bad do you smell? And I said, I smell fine. And she goes, we need to go in there, and there's shampoo, conditioner, body wash, everything.
Right.
I'll take whatever you're grabbing.
Well,
I don't care. And she goes, I want you to go in there, and I want you to shower. And I can guarantee you when you come back, you're going to be hungry. And I said, I doubt that. And I had, I went in there and I showered, and I will say that was the best fucking shower. Got out, and I was like, okay. All right, lady, okay. And I walked out, and she goes, I'm not going to feed you unless you promise me to take a nap. It had been 48 hours, at least.
Right.
24, 48 hours. I said, I'm not tired. I just need to get back to my kid. And she goes, no, I'm going to feed you some of this lasagna. But then you're going to take a nap. And I said, no, I'm not. I'm going to eat and I'm going to go back.
And you took a
dude, I fucking ate.
Nap.
When she gave me a plate, she gave me a lasagna chunk. And I ate it. And I was like, you know what? And I went sat on the couch and I was watching TV. And I was like, I woke up like 4 or 5 hours later. And I looked at her and she just winked at me. Like you said, she just winked at me. And I was like, all right. I see you.
I needed that.
And so I went out and I went up there and I felt 100 times refreshed. But I don't know about your situation, but where mine changed was day 5, 6, 5 or 6. My stepdad, my mom had told my stepdad, you need to get Cody out of here. Because I hadn't left since then. She goes, you need to get Cody out of here. He's a little on edge. Because it was one of those, like, I wasn't leaving back there. You know, they only allowed 2 people at a time.
Right.
And people wanted to go back and see him. Family members were coming up. It was a weekend.
And you were being stingy.
And I was like, fuck no, he's mine. I mean, he is my son.
Yeah.
You know, it's that dad-son bond. Like, he's my son. I hadn't even got to hold him yet.
Yeah.
And I remember Jeff comes back there and goes, hey, was like, "What's up?" He was like, "I need you to come with me." I said, "Where are we going?" It was like fucking 10:30 in the morning. He's like, "We're gonna go get some Taco Bell." And I was like, "Ooh."
Ooh, that sounds good.
I mean, I mean, I'd been
Yeah.
eating whatever the hospital had, or
Yeah.
they brought me, or and I was like, and at the time, I was a sucker. I mean, I still am, but I was a sucker for Taco Bell.
Yeah.
2 number 7s, some
Yeah.
extra tacos. I was fucking up. That was back when the quesadillas Taco Bell. If you ever hear that,
Were
they
good.
used to be shredded chicken
They were good.
and not that chunky nasty bullshit you got now. But I was like, deal. And so we got in my mom's car. Because he was like, "Do you know where the nearest Taco Bell is?" I said, "Sure as fuck do." We got back out on I-35 and went right off. Was it Shawnee Mission Parkway? Right there. It was like brand new.
Yep.
Brand new Taco Bell. I walk in, sit down, order my food, Jeff, because I got your food. I sit down and no more than ate 2 pieces of my quesadilla, and my phone goes off. I looked at it, and it said, it was from my dad. Although, also, by the way, the parking garages that have those compact car parking spots? Shout out to my dad.
Fit a dually in it?
He fit a fucking dually around a pole. Around a fucking pole in that motherfucker.
Right?
Shout out to him. I don't know how you do it, but I'd hate to see you back up a semi. But he said, the text message said, "You need to get back here right now." And I said, I didn't say nothing. I just walked over, dumped my fucking tray, and I said, "We gotta fucking go." And Jeff goes, "What do you mean?" And I showed him my phone. Jeff goes, "Okay." Well, Jake was with us, the one supposed to be here. He fucking grabs his food and he's just walking out with it. I get in my mom's Mercury. This is when the Mercury Milans come out, like 2010, 2011.
Yeah.
I remember hit I-35, and I was bouncing off the rev limiter. Just governor, just the whole fucking way, which is not that far.
No.
We pull into Children's Mercy up to the front circle drive part. I had a state trooper behind me. I jumped out and right in fucking side. Didn't stop. Didn't care. You can take me to jail and I'm done.
Yeah.
Well, ended up my stepdad talked to him and said it was an emergency situation with my son. He had been in ICU or in NICU and yada yada yada. He kind of just brushed it under the fucking table. Was like, that can't happen. That state trooper, I don't know who he was, but he didn't ask questions. He just understood that it was obviously I was doing probably 130 down I-35.
Damn.
In a Mercury Milan.
Damn.
And go upstairs, and we're back in the meeting room, the big meeting room. And my mom, they only allowed you, the other parent, and 2 other people. So, I don't ever drink this much, but they allowed 2 other people with us.
A little emotional.
And so it was me and my mom, Kylie and her mom. Her mom's gone now.
Right.
But I remember that was the conversation I never wanted to have. That was the and they didn't start it off easy. I think they did that on purpose.
Yeah.
But it was we've exhausted everything. We don't know what else to do. This was day 7. And end of day 7 going into day 8. And she lost it. And her mom lost it, which I get it. She's a mom.
Yeah.
And I looked at her and I said, "You need to leave. I'll take care of this." And she goes, "Are you sure?" And I said, "Yep. Got it." And
doesn't it suck having to be a grown ass man
at 18?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Even at 50.
Yeah.
That having to make those decisions that you don't want to make.
Right.
And do the things you don't want to do.
And so
just to save face for everybody else.
Yeah. And so I sat there and they're like, "We've tried everything." Well, then I was like, "What about the shot? Can we do the shot now? You said there's nothing left to do. Can we do the shot now?" And they're like, "No, it's beyond that. His body's shutting down." And my mom was sitting next to me and at that big ass fucking table.
Yep.
And
I know that table all too well.
She's like patting my back and she goes, "It's going to be okay." And I looked at that fucking head doctor and I said, "You
He said, yes. And I said, I'm 18 years old. I've had my fun. I said, you can take me to a room. You can end it and take whatever you need. I don't care.
But there's nothing.
I'm 18. I've lived 18 long years, but that kid's lived almost 8 days. He needs a life. I don't. He'll be just fine. And my mom looked at me and goes, I don't think you mean that. And I said, you need to fucking leave. This isn't a conversation for you. This is a conversation for me. And the doctor goes, son, I've never heard a kid your age say that.
But there's still
He said,
nothing.
I can't. There's nothing I can take from you. I said, you can take it all.
Yeah.
You can take all of it.
Yeah.
I will put the bullet in my head for you to take it. He was like, he was like, we would have to bury 2 of you.
There's not a fix.
And
yeah.
I remember I looked at my mom and she's like, and I remember we walked out of there because my mom kept it together.
Right.
I mean, she kept it together pretty good.
In front of you.
We walked out of
she
there.
She probably didn't keep it together good.
We walked out of there. I need another shot. Oh, shit, sorry.
You're good.
And she goes, we walked out of there. And we went back to out in the lobby, the lobby, up at everybody. And she pulled me to the side right before the door that they made it, you hear the button and opened.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, what the fuck was that? And I said, what? And she was like, I've never been more proud of you.
And pissed off at you at the same time?
Pissed off at you at the same time. And I said, what do you mean? And she goes, I never expected you to grow up so fast.
You do a lot when you have to.
And I said, what does that mean? And she was like, but if you think for a second I would bury my son. And I said, you didn't have a fucking choice. I said, I think I would be better off where I was going, knowing you were going to help raise my kid, than me have to go the rest of my life without losing my kid if I could have prevented it.
Yeah, but in the same breath.
Oh yeah.
That's where that bigger picture.
Yeah.
Bigger plan comes in.
At the time, I didn't really have said bigger picture.
No, you.
And so it was like, I think I did what every parent would have done. Like,
oh,
you
absolutely.
can take my body.
Absolutely.
Like,
I'd walk in front of a fucking semi right now if
yeah.
it meant saving any of my kids.
Yeah. And yeah, that was when, like, after it was all said and done, my mom was like, I didn't realize in the last 8 days how fucking fast you grew up.
And how much you had to, though.
I was like,
how much you had to.
Do you think I had a fucking choice?
Yeah, I didn't want to.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be here.
Most 18-year-old kids are out getting fucked up and having fun and going to college.
And going to parties.
Having fucking...
And you're like,
I'm having medical fucking
having
meetings.
to make life decisions for another human.
I'm having medical fucking meetings with fucking doctors.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, cheers.
Cheers to not having to do that ever again.
God, no.
Yeah.
But
I got to be totally honest. There's probably a lot of calories in that.
It's worth it.
And probably a lot more than I needed today.
But we're on to something.
But those are good.
Oh, fuck.
And we're on to something.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, I think we might be solving the world's problems right now.
Well, like, even with you, with Dylan before all that, you were probably drinking, having fun. I mean,
that's just it. And you have to know, I'm not downplaying anything that you've been through.
Yeah.
Because there's no way to do that with a child. But at the end of the day,
showed you photos?
Huh?
I said, have I ever showed you photos?
Oh yeah. Yeah, we've had this discussion, just never on camera. At the end of the day, I think I could have taken it better if Dylan was only 9 days old.
Yeah.
I had him for a year and a half. He had a personality. He was talking.
Speaking of kids, there's Cammy Joe.
I know. That was today.
Yeah.
So he was talking. We had a relationship. This little dude slept in this arm in my recliner
Oh, and I talked about chin strap earlier.
Yeah. God, you were a baby.
That's my sister. That's my mom.
Yeah.
That's Kason. Yeah, that's me and Jake.
But you
Came with Joe.
I literally had him in one arm.
Yeah.
And a 5.5 pound at that time weenie dog.
Yeah.
Like the three of us were joined at the hip. And Dylan started having staring seizures. Never heard of anything. You think seizure, you think hit the floor, shake uncontrollably like grand mal seizures.
Yeah.
My baby would shut off. He would be sitting there talking to you, gibbering and whatever, and then just lights out. He would still be looking at you, still be functional. The lights were on, but nobody was home.
Yeah. Speaking of Kason, here's Kason. Whenever she was in the hospital.
Oh, she was a tiny little shit, too.
She was.
See, I can't even identify with that. Mine come out looking like the Michelin Man. Dylan was 9.
That was the day we brought her home.
Dylan was 9'8" when he was born, and Harley was 10'2". She had rolls on her rolls.
Yeah.
But, so when we got to the hospital, I'll never forget it. I was working in the city, and he had been having those seizures.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, look, if he has another one, we're going to Children's Mercy. We're not messing around down here in Podunk, USA. We're going to a real hospital. We're going to get this shit figured out.
You know, the crazy thing was they gave me an option. Like whenever Kenton was, it was either north to Children's Mercy or south to Springfield.
Yeah.
And I looked at Fox and I said, where do we go?
We go north.
And he said, we go north.
Yeah.
And that's where we went.
So my ex-wife and my sister took Dylan.
Yeah.
And I hadn't got home from work yet. And I got home, I took a shower. My sister called me and she's like, I need you to come to the city. And I'm like, okay. She goes, we're at Children's Mercy. And I'm on the phone with her and my parents pull in my driveway.
Oh.
And I'm like, why are they here? Oh, Ford Ranger with 2 4-wheelers in it. That was a good time. And so my dad gets out of the truck and he goes, Michael, we got to go to the city now. And I'm like, why? He said, they did an MRI with contrast.
Mm-hmm.
If you ever hear the word contrast.
Yeah, it's not good.
It's not good.
No.
And he goes, we need to get up there. So we get up there and here's my 1.5-year-old sitting in a wagon. Fucking all smiles. Everything's peaches and cream.
Yep.
Because he hadn't had one of them seizures in a while, and he's good to go.
Yeah.
And they're like, they start this conversation. Could be cancer. It's definitely a brain tumor. We don't know the extent of it. All this stuff. And I'm trying to keep my shit together. And I got a baby staring at me that's got the biggest smile on the planet going, everything's good, Dad. And I'm like, no, it's not, buddy. I can't say that to him, but I was like, it's not good. And then within 24 hours of him sitting in the emergency room and everybody freaking out, I'm in that room you're talking about with all these doctors, and they're giving me all these statistics. And I'm like, what the hell are we talking about? Same, almost same scenario. Because I'm like, I'm trying to process this shit. And they're telling me he may not make it out of this.
Yeah.
We could open him up and it'd be the kind of cancer that as soon as air hits it, it goes everywhere.
Yeah.
And I'm like, the fuck? And I'm having to make life choices for a life that doesn't even know anything's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And I will never forget it till I die. And if I could change anything about the way hospitals work or how they do their process, I hope somebody watches this podcast and listens to me. When you get ready to take a baby into surgery, you need to do it different. We walked into this room, and there's stainless steel tools everywhere.
See, that's where we're different.
A fucking stainless steel skill saw.
Yeah.
Like this shit's all sterile, and it's all shit that I've used to build a house.
Yeah.
All on a table. And my kid's on a table, asleep, because they give him a Valium. And he's got this cute little fucking blue star right on the side of his head. That's so they knew which side to cut on. And they bring out this folder, this binder of papers. We need you to sign here. We need you to sign here. We need you to sign here. I'm staring at my baby that I've slept in a recliner with for a year.
Yeah.
And we're buddies. Like, me and him and this freaking dog that I didn't even want, which I'm going to have another weenie dog. That's another story. But this weenie dog that I didn't even want, and they're like, you need to sign here. And I'm like, what does all this mean? They're like, well, this is a release form for us to open his skull. And this is a release form saying that if he dies on the table, you're not going to hold us responsible because you're saying this is okay. And I'm like, oh my God. Bawling like a freaking baby.
I think the hardest paper I've ever signed was it.
Yeah. And I leaned over and I kissed him.
Yep.
And I went back out and to this day, I have two friends that I'll never forget that sat in the waiting room with me while he was in a 9-hour surgery. At 1.5 years old, that baby was in surgery for 9 hours. And the whole time I had no clue. I had this pretty little blue star on the side of my nose. When I leaned over to kiss him, I was crying. And where they'd marked him on the side of the head was on my nose. I almost, if I wasn't so against facial tattoos, I almost had that son of a bitch tattooed on my nose.
Yeah.
I had this cute little fucking, I don't even know what you call it. It's the asterisk. It's like a star on top of a star, the lines.
Yeah.
That's what they did. And I had it on the side of my nose for like 9 hours. Didn't even know it. But that was probably the roughest time I've ever had in my whole life. Not even close to the shit you've been through.
Yeah, you said sleeping in a recliner?
Like, it was bad. Yeah. Yeah.
Hate that photo.
Why?
Because if you zoom in, it's not pretty. Zoom in. Get him.
Yeah, but he's still yours.
Oh, yeah. But it's... Yeah. But here, speaking of, like, that's the first time I got to hold him. I was nervous.
You was a freaking baby.
I was nervous.
You was a baby.
Oh, God, I was a baby. I was so fucking nervous, dude. I didn't know. But, like, yeah, when I say hooked up to machines, I'm sure you know.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
I got...
Yeah. That Care Bear? Holy shit, the store. Okay. So, the guy I told you that we stayed with.
Right.
His wife, who passed away, collected Care Bears back when, like,
right.
McDonald's did all that.
Yeah, they were
shit.
a big deal.
That Care Bear, he had totes and totes and totes. His wife collected all of them.
Tell me you still have it.
And hold on.
Okay.
And so, I'm gonna pull my phone back up. That Care Bear, and if I'm not mistaken, that Care Bear and this outfit right here.
Right.
It's a KU Jayhawks football outfit.
Right. Rock Chalk.
Right. Hell yeah. By the way, they won last night.
Yes, they did.
Barely. When it was all said and done, we got back and we're talking to him. He's like, I don't mean to sound rude. He's like, because that Care Bear was in a glass case. All of them were in glass cases.
Right.
He's like, I think we fucked up. And we're sitting there drinking.
We give you the expensive Care Bear.
$15,000 Care Bear.
Oh. Oh.
It was a rare Care Bear that they only made like 200 of.
Oh.
And his wife had kept it.
Oh, no.
And it was one he just pulled it out and was like, I think you should put this with
He
your
said,
son.
"That's my retirement. I need to get it back."
Oh, he had already retired.
Yeah, I know.
He worked for this. He worked for the city in Overland Park. He worked for the city,
Right.
so he had great retirement. He said, by the way, that was a $15,000 Care Bear. Excuse me? Well, shout out to Jake. Outside of my kids, the great grandkids of my family, on my dad's side, were all girls. Thanks to me.
Yeah. Cody knows how to blow the nuts off of
After
him.
Kindon, it was all girls, and Cooper came along. Well, they had Bailey's baby shower, and I have a tote of his. I have a DVD I want you to watch.
Okay.
Sometime. It's 90 seconds. I bet you don't make it 90 seconds. Because after he passed away, there's a photographer that shows up and specializes in those kind of photos.
Right.
And well, when Cooper was conceived, whatever, had baby shower, Cooper's a boy. I gave. Granted, I was also on drugs at the time.
You gave him the KU?
I gave Jake and Bailey the KU outfit and the Care Bear. And I remember one time receiving a photo of Cooper in the outfit, and he always had the Care Bear around him. It was like on a shelf or above his crib or whatever.
Please tell me Jake bought a truck with the Care Bear.
I think he still has the Care Bear.
Nice.
But yeah, like that was, I will say, of my entire life, that was the weirdest photo shoot ever. Because, like, she'd come in, I mean, it was like instant, which I get they don't have a lot of time.
But it's memory photos.
And I still have, we got to do the hand cement thing of him holding my finger.
Right.
And I've never cried harder in my life was when that got knocked over and a chip fell off. Just a small little chip. And I fucking lost it.
Yeah. You needed to.
Well, the first time I ever lost it was when Hayden was a year old. Hayden had turned a year old.
Right.
We were living at the Highlands. And
uptown.
And so
on the hill.
I was traveling a bunch and I wasn't really home much. But I got drunk one night. It was Kendon's second or third birthday. And it hit me. I had hid those emotions for that long.
Yeah.
And I remember we were down, because my mom used to live like down the hill from us.
Yeah.
And
I remember right where too.
Yeah, you know that little house with the 2-car garage.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not far from where my wife's grandma Pat lives. Lived.
I was in there playing pool with him, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go home. I was like, if I had a little bit too much to drink, I'm gonna go home. I had set in my front room and it was just quiet. And Autumn called my mom. She's like, something's wrong with Cody. Mom's like, okay, I'll be there in a minute. I had went into Hayden's room because we just had a 2-bedroom apartment.
Right.
I went into Hayden's room and I locked the door. I was just talking to her, and there's just a lot on my mind.
Yeah.
And
was she asleep?
Yeah. She was asleep.
Yeah. That's the best.
She was like a year old.
That's the best conversations you can have.
And I guess my mom and Autumn, because everything in those apartments were cheaply made.
Yeah.
They had their heads against the door.
Yeah.
And I guess they had heard me say, "You're gonna be okay. No matter what happens to your dad, you're gonna have the best life."
Yeah.
So it's okay.
But they thought you were getting morbid.
I left. I walked out that door, and I left. Walked down the stairs, because I had an upstairs apartment. Walked down the stairs, and I left. And I just needed to go for a drive. I was in my emotions.
Yeah.
And
in the feels.
Big time. And I had went to his gravesite. And I remember an hour gone by, and my mom called me, and she goes, "Well, you're still breathing." I said, "Yes." She goes, "How drunk are you?" I said, well, I bought a case on my way here, and it's gone. I said, will you bring me more? And she said, no, I'm going to bring you home. And I said, that'll work.
Yeah, that'll work. That'll be good.
And she came and got me, left my truck there. She came and got me, and I remember I went home. From what I was told, I went home, I walked up the stairs, I walked into Hayden's room. I picked her up out of her bed, asleep. It was like 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Hayden had one of them little, I don't know if you remember, they were like the foam couches that would fold up into a couch and fold down into a bed.
Into a chair.
I folded her I folded it down into a bed. I grabbed her and her blanket, and we fell asleep on the floor.
Yeah.
And when I woke up, Hayden woke me up
everywhere.
No,
because you slept on the fucking floor on a little bitty thin ass foam mattress.
I was still pretty young then.
Yeah,
so
no,
I didn't feel much.
That makes me hurt thinking about it.
And Autumn goes, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah,
I'm good."
And she's like, "What was last night?" And I was like, "That was a lot." And I will say, I know you don't get along with the guy that told me this.
Yeah, no, he's got his moments though.
But I remember after my mom passed away, he called me.
Yeah.
And he's like, I want you to know.
He's not a bad person.
No. He has his moments.
Yeah.
He goes, I want you to know, he's like, I idol you. And I said, wrong guy, bud.
Wrong.
I said, I'm not the guy to idol.
Bad option.
And he goes, he said, I've watched you go through fucking heartbreak, and I'm not looking for fucking sympathy. He said, I've watched you go through heartbreak after heartbreak after heartbreak after heartbreak. And he said, you take that shit on the fucking chin. And
roll on.
He said, I remember you told me one time, it was after Hunter died, and my mom got sick. He said, I remember I called you, and you told me on the phone, so what's next?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I said that?
Yeah.
He said, you were a little fucked up. He said, but you said, so what's next? And he was like, you're expecting for that ball to drop at any moment. And then sure as shit, Kaysen. And then my mom. And then it was just like, and I was just like, I mean, shockingly, it's been, Kaysen got cleared this year.
Yeah, no.
And
that's badass.
I will say, outside of all the stuff with Kendon, and then Kaysen being able to go home for the first time.
Yeah.
For being on medication for
almost 4 years.
Almost 3.5 years.
Yeah.
Of being on just like you.
Yeah. I mean, almost 4 years.
We got told this year it was done.
She good.
She good to go. Just keep an eye on her. I mean, she's
still gonna be a shithead, but she good to go.
If you only knew, she's a shithead. By the way, before we're done, I want to know.
So I got to tell you, on the same line.
Yeah. When you got to take Dylan home. How was that?
But one of them, it's not so much that, it's the not dealing with it.
Oh.
And the waiting and not dealing with it. So, long story short, Dylan's fine. We come home. He's not fine, but he's fine. And he's got like 50 staples in his head.
Yeah.
Me and the ex-wife had a total meltdown in the driveway the day we got home because he had one of them old style car seats that you had to pull up over his head.
Oh yeah, the old school days.
Yeah, not paying attention, just fucking
flopped her right up there.
I attribute it to lack of adulthood.
We need to install some piss funnels.
Pops a staple out.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, we just got home.
Yeah.
Fucking kid had brain surgery. Just got home, pops a staple out, loses his shit. I lose my shit on her. Long story short, through this whole deal, this weenie dog that I didn't want, that I honestly bought for her, has been my therapist. He's been my Dr. Phil, because I got freaking 12-pound kid in one arm and a 4-pound dog in the other. Yeah. Little bitty shit. And
I'm pulling a Joe Rogan.
13 years down the road.
I got a bits.
I do too. But 13 years down the road, because he was 14 years old when I lost him, I lost my shit. Like, I didn't realize how tight I was with that dog because of the stuff we'd been through. And we did go through a lot. Well, then this dog, he dies on me. And I didn't deal with it good. I actually probably dealt with it worse than if he'd have been my own kid. I'm a hunter. I hunt turkeys, I hunt deer, I hunt you name it. And to take another life, I always respect it, but I never really let it affect me. This damn dog affected me. He died. I sat at home, and my dad called me, and he's like, hey, I need you to know something. He's like, Scooter's gone. And my first instinct was, where did he go? So I'm talking about Scooter. And so Dad texts me and he's like, hey, Scooter's gone. And I'm like, okay, well, where did he go? And he goes, I don't think you understand. He's gone.
He goned.
And I'm like, what do you mean he's gone? At this point in time, this dog is the best friend that me and my kid have ever had.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, Michael, he's gone. He said, I need you to come over here because we were in the process amidst all of the medical bills and all that good stuff. We lost everything.
Yeah.
I lost a brand new truck. I lost a house. I lost it all, which I'm not complaining. I don't care. My kid's worth more than anything on the fucking planet.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. So I come over here to Mom and Dad's and had my moment. And it was super cold out. And he was already stiff. And the funny part is you talk about
another shot.
Yeah, I did. You talk about Hayden and how she kind of helped you cope and give you something to focus on.
Until then,
after him.
Until Hayden, Jake was my. That sounds kind of shitty.
No,
Jake was your weenie dog.
Right.
Like, Jake was always my best friend before that.
Right.
Because he was my younger brother. Because we grew up with each other.
But Scooter.
Yeah.
And it's so screwed up because it was a freaking dachshund. But at the same breath, he was my comfort zone because he was mine and Dylan's constant.
He was your connection.
We had him. Yeah. I had him here. I had the dog here. We'd go to sleep every night. I'd get up and go to work. I'd make sure Dylan was in his bed and Scooter was in his bed. And when my dad called me, it's almost like you were talking. I never really dealt with it.
Yeah.
Until Scooter died. And I was fucking mad, dude. I was so mad.
You know, fucking a dog is like a
child.
So
mad. And you know what? I don't think up until that point I'd ever been that attached with an animal.
Yeah.
And I was fucking mad. And I come over here and it was cold out, snow on the ground. He's stiff. And I just got pissed. And I can tell you honestly that an adult male can drink a half gallon of fucking Jaeger. I did it. I left. I dug a hole in the fucking hardest frozen ground I've ever dug a hole in. I put my dog in it. I left. I went and bought a bottle of Jaeger, and you're talking about a case of beer. That's what made me think of it. I was like, I went and bought a bottle of Jaeger.
Yeah.
It's not the right way to deal with it, but it was my way of dealing with it.
Yeah.
Went and bought it, and I left. And I had a cell phone at that time. And so I don't even know where I was at. And my mom calls me and she's like, are you okay? I said, I'm not okay. I was like, that dog was the only thing that Dylan and I had that was consistent. And he's gone now. What do I do? And she's like, well, the first thing you need to do is let me know where you're at so I can come get you and you can come home.
Yeah.
Because I honestly, to this day, I really don't even know where I was at. I drank that much. So she come got me. I wake up.
Oh, I knew where I
A
was.
day, I didn't. I was that gone.
Yeah.
A day, maybe day and a half later, and all I could think was, that was real smart. That was real smart. Lose your shit over a dog, get drunk, end up dead, and all this fighting that you've went through, keep your son alive.
But it was the fact that your son and you shared the dog.
It was.
Yeah.
But I mean, the adult in me kicked in, and it's like, all this shit that you went through to make sure everything's okay and to take care of your son, could have thrown it away over a dog. Still miss him to this day.
Yeah.
Doesn't make it right. But I'm like, okay. Maybe the dog wasn't that important. He still was. If I was to ever get an animal, if I was to ever get an animal tattooed on me, I have multiple pictures. We did photo shoots. We did. We did. The dude had his own sweaters. He had a collar. He was the coolest thing ever because his mom was a miniature weenie dog and his dad was a full blood. So he had these short little legs, but the dude weighed like full grown. He weighed like 45 pounds. He was fat. And he had a callus on his chest because he was so short-legged that his chest rubbed the ground. Like me and this dude were thick as thieves.
His balls drug.
Oh, no. He walked into the garage one night. We're working on four-wheelers.
Mm-hmm.
And the little dude, his little butt only moved about this far. And it was super hot out. And me and all my buddies are drinking beer and we're working on four-wheelers. And this dog walks in a circle. And he goes, that's all you seen. This much movement.
Yeah.
And his nuts hit the concrete. And he goes, and I'm like, that's a cool ass dog right there. Oh, he was so awesome. But yeah, I miss him a little bit. I could probably get my feels just as much with him as I can my kids.
I was trying to find my dog. The dog that was like that. Where is he? How far along?
The one I got right now is just about that bad. She's my
I will say
second half.
Okay, I found the
Sorry,
photo.
babe.
So
you're my better half.
So like Kada, that was Kada. She was the
pretty.
dog. She's a full blood pit bull. She protected my kids when I was gone.
Right.
If you came in my house and she didn't like you, she let you know about it.
You were done.
Like what? She would never attack you, but you would not get between her and the girls.
Oh, that's good.
So she wouldn't just latch onto you, but she would stand her ground like, okay, you're over there, they're over here, I'm here.
Yeah, dare you.
Like that fucking face staring at you in the face.
She stood in the driveway screaming, no balls.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I mean, like,
Try it.
and she was 120 pounds of solid, just bam.
Mine was 35.
Yeah.
35, and he
said mine was 35.
He ate before a 185 pound English Mastiff.
There is a better photo.
Oh, she big
of her from the side.
Wow, look at them muscles.
But
mine was just fat. Yeah. Had a callus on his chest, and he still ate before an 85-pound lab and before a 185-pound Mastiff. That dude would walk in a mohawk.
She was the protector that I needed when I was gone.
So was mine.
She was the kind of dog that...
Totally different end of the spectrum. Mine was probably a snack to your dog.
She only attacked one person, and he deserved it.
This dude would stand on the armrest of my recliner and dare somebody to get close to me and Dylan.
Yeah.
He would eat your lunch.
He'd bite your cankles.
Yeah. Here's to good dogs.
Good dogs. It's like fine wine.
Yeah, but that was a big one. That was a double gulper.
But the dog you were talking about, that was like yours.
If you look up dachshund on the internet, no, literally, if you just type it in, not even long hairs, just dachshund.
Yeah.
The first thing that pops up is Scooter. He was the black, all black, with the tan eyebrows. He's the epitome of a weenie dog.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have to go to the gym tomorrow.
I'm gonna show you.
Okay, so this was my dog. That was like your Scooter. That was my first lab.
Oh, chocolate lab?
Yeah, he was a chocolate lab. That was my high school. That was my senior picture. And Well, and when I say I did everything for that dog, we were in Stark, Kansas. I'm sure you know where that's at.
Oh, yeah. Look,
Tornado.
first picture. The very first picture that pops up if you type in dash hound or weenie dog.
He's old.
It's Scooter.
No,
that's what he looked
dude,
like.
My mom had a dog like
that's
that on the hill.
That's exactly what he looked like.
Yeah,
she had black and tan. He was just like that. You see how their chest is real big?
Yeah.
So his mama was a miniature. So he had the little bitty short legs. Well, that part of his chest drug the ground. And where it drug the ground, he had a callus.
Just fucking thick.
Hair all rubbed off of it. just hard as shit. This dude was mean. Oh, he was the shit.
We were in Stark, and there was
that's my buddy.
Tornado warning. And you know, like around here, you're like, oh, another one. You know, like fucking DJ Khaled
no big
says,
deal.
Like another one. Well,
tornado siren goes off. You just run out on the front porch to see where it's coming from.
They had seen a tornado in between Chanute and Iola.
Right.
Like it was on the ground.
Not uncommon.
Coming towards Stark.
Yeah.
We're like, oh shit. So we, do what most people do. We prepare, and they have that schoolhouse out there. So that's where the storm shelter is the schoolhouse. We're getting everything loaded up, and Jeff goes, Cody, hurry up. And I said, I'm not forgetting my dog. I mean, he was my best friend. I got him when I was in 8th grade.
Yeah.
And Jeff goes, fuck that dog, let's go. I said, fuck you then. His name was Browning after the shotgun.
Right.
And we went inside.
Lactose.
Yeah, we went inside. And I sat on the fucking couch in the front room. And he wasn't an inside dog. He was a outside dog.
With the dog.
He laid on the floor. And Jeff goes, we're fucking waiting. I said, he don't go, we don't go. Like, we are a team.
I ain't leaving my dog.
He said, grab your fucking dog, let's go. We got to the schoolhouse. All the women, children are inside. Me and Jeff and them were outside. Browning's outside in the back of the fucking truck. And you look over and towards the, what was it? That's west. The kind of southwestish, you see a flash and you see a funnel. And I said, Browning, down. And he went, he jumped out of, my stepdad had a F-350. He jumped out and sat right by my feet. And Jeff goes, oh, fuck, that's there. I mean, he was probably 3 or 4 miles away. I mean, it was it's probably like, what do they call him, F3, F4. I mean, it was big. I mean, it's like F2, F3. And I said, well, now what? And he goes,
get your ass in that schoolhouse.
Do you want to go inside? And I said, I'll go inside when you go inside. He said, what about your dog? And I said, Browning, stay. And he didn't move. He just looked right at my hip. And Jeff goes, all right. And about that time, Jeff's pager goes off. And it says a fire call. Like there was an emergency. And Jeff goes, are you going? And I looked at Browning and I said, are we going? And he went, and I was like, is that in a no? He cleared the back of my stepdad's truck.
Really?
And I said, I guess we going.
I guess we're going with you.
He fucking went with us.
Hell yeah.
I mean, like his motto was, if you can go, I can go.
Yeah.
And if I can't go, you ain't going.
Yeah.
I mean, like he was like my dog, but like my protector at the same time.
I'm telling you, dude. I never
Chocolate
believed.
Labs are great.
I never believed in any of that stuff.
Yeah.
Until that fucking weenie dog. If there is something that could get close enough to you, like I can't even explain it. My dog now, Blue, sweetest.
Who is a good dog, by the way?
Sweetest animal on the planet. There's not anything.
He's so mean to her, though.
No, he's not. He makes her mind, and she is very, very obedient.
She comes up to me, he says no, and
I do tell her no because I don't want her jumping on people.
But
we have to be polite.
I get her in trouble.
We have to be polite, but in the same at the same breath, there is not I can't say human. There's nothing on this planet. Let me reword it that way. There's nothing on this planet that is happier to see me
than Blue,
or more appreciative of me than that freaking dog.
Right? I was fine. Lady would shake her ass
Nothing.
when I come home.
She could mess up, and I could kick her right square in the ass.
Yeah.
With the side of my foot.
That's how Django is.
And 3 minutes later, she's got her head on my knee, and I can do no wrong.
Like, for instance.
Like, I couldn't pay for that.
Like, for instance, Django, what was it, 2 weeks ago?
For people that say that hunters are cruel.
No.
I just want you to know something. I'm telling you, I'm having a moment right now because it just popped in my head. You can say whatever you want to about a hunter. And yeah, I take lives with a bow, with a gun, whatever. If you think we're cruel to animals, you can kiss the fattest part of my ass because I have the sweetest.
What the fattest part is.
I mean,
the left cheek, the right cheek,
it's probably the right
lower?
cheek. It's probably the right cheek because I sat on it a lot and it kind of squished out a little. Not. It's from the crack to the right. Because the left part, I don't sit on it as much. Have you ever
measured?
No, but
We need to measure.
I'm guessing my right cheek is a little fatter than my left, for sure.
This is what alcohol does to us.
Yeah, but I got to be totally honest though, like. Hunters are the most conservation-driven person on the planet.
Passionate people.
Very passionate.
We're passionate people.
And on the same breath, in the same aspect, you touch my dog,
I'll drop your
we'll
ass.
go to war. I promise you. There is nothing.
Well, speaking of that, Django, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, he went to war.
He got his ass beat. So we were cleaning the vehicles out. Kids were outside playing. And for anyone that's curious, Django is...
He is the Heinz 57 of the Heinz 57.
He's a year and a half old, half golden retriever, half long-haired dachshund.
Dachshund. He's a wiener dog with golden retriever.
His mom was a wiener dog. His dad was a golden retriever.
And how does that happen?
She had 8 puppies, by the way.
They don't even have that on the hub.
And so he's
how does
a
golden retriever get on top of a wiener dog and get
He's
anything
a very
to happen?
intelligent dog. He's very smart. He has the golden retriever brains.
Oh, he's smart. Yeah.
But he's literally a perfect size mixture of. But he has like the dachshund nose, the long nose. He has the speckled spots on his face. But his fur is jet black. But it is golden retriever soft.
That's racist. Isn't that what the kids say?
I guess. That's what the kids say.
His fur is jet black. That's racist.
He is that golden retriever soft curls.
Right.
I mean, he is all that. And we're outside a couple weekends ago. We're cleaning out vehicles. Kids are playing. We're having fun.
Mm-hmm.
And he's outside.
You need one?
Well, no, I'm okay. And
newbie.
He gets behind the house. Behind our house, across the alleyway, is a dog that is chained up outside that doesn't go inside, doesn't go anywhere else but this chain. He lives in a doghouse outside with nothing. I mean...
And whooped his ass.
And he is half the size of Django. And Django went over there and thought, I'm going to piss on his doghouse and the tree next to it.
Bad idea.
And needless to say, Django got his ass beat. That dog had him by the face, and granted, me being the dog owner, I ran over, and you can judge me all you want to. I kicked as hard.
Bros before hoes.
Harrison Butker couldn't have kicked as hard as I did.
About to happen.
And I kicked the dog shit out of this dog. And he let go. Django took off running. Eye swollen up. I thought he lost his eye. For a week. He's got the voice changer on. For the longest time, well, for probably a week and a half, he thought he lost his eye. Like, it swelled shut. It was white. You know how that blind whiteness?
My man got beat up.
Yeah. I was like, he lost his eye. And he came out of it. Well, now
he got a little droopy eye, but he came out of it.
The sad thing is in the midst of all of this, his balls dropped.
I remember that day.
He thinks he has to go outside every 15 minutes.
And piss on everything.
And piss on everything. And when I say that, it's just a drop.
Mine.
Well, okay, 2 days ago, come home from work. I let him out. He pisses on his normal shit, and then he looks in that direction, sees that dog, and I said, "Don't you fucking do it." He looks at me, looks at that dog.
Oh, I'd be like, sick kill.
I said, Django, I will fuck you up.
No, you won't.
And he went and fucking bolted. And I said, you know what?
He's like, guess what, Dad? Watch, I'm gonna get beat up again.
And I said, get your ass whooped. 5 minutes goes by, and I'm like, wait a minute.
Where'd he go?
Where'd he go? I picked my hair around the corner, and you could see him next to the garage next to my house, like on the back side of my house. He's pissing on everything outside chain link range.
He knew exactly how far the dude could reach. He's like, I'm gonna go over there, and I'm pissing on everything, but I ain't getting close enough. He can touch me.
And I said, Django, and I fucking yelled at him, and he looked at me, and I was like, come on. And I swear to God, he went and fucking pissed on a couple more things, and then he ran fucking back. That dog was doing laps, pissed off, like he couldn't reach it. And I'm like, my dog owns everything around you.
That's awesome. I wish, I got to be honest, there's times where I wish I could be like a dog or a cat.
Just piss on what you want.
Oh, as soon as you piss on it, it's yours.
No, not a cat. They spray piss out their ass.
No, cats walk around and they're like, mine, mine. I mean, every time they piss on something, it's mine. You know how much I would own if I could just piss on it and it was mine?
I don't think your lady would like you peeing on her.
I mean, she already mine.
Or your kid.
She already mine. I'm hers. They're mine. I'm theirs. But, I mean, I would just stroll into the car lot and be like, mine. I would have all kinds of new vehicles.
Hey, did you buy your lotto tickets?
Damn it. I got to buy Mega Millions tomorrow. I forgot to do it today.
When is the draw? It's on Wednesdays, isn't it? Tuesdays?
Oh, I don't know, but it's 977 million.
If
I win that, we're gonna go
the studio change.
If I win that, and you see us on like
Outdoor Channel,
like no, I'm talking like straight up studio quality. I mean, I gotta be honest. If you don't think our backdrop,
I'm just saying,
and our setup is cool.
No, here, wait. I'm gonna call out Two Bears One Cave. You have a nice studio. But this
is cool.
This is fucking down home.
This is good.
This is your everyday America. We got a wood duck. Or no, we got a wood duck. We have, what is that?
A pintail?
A pintail. We have, wait, why did I say, what is that?
I don't know. We have a whitetail.
We have a European mount. We have a fucking full mount. We got racks.
We got the bandit. We got the rattling horns. We got the don't tread on me flag.
Yeah.
They're going to be a American flag behind him next week because I'm buying it. I mean,
this is an America background.
If these coyotes, I trapped them. Every freaking horn on here, I found it. If this ain't cool enough,
this wiener, I yacked it.
Oh wow, shit got escalated real quick. These rogues, I bought them. These cigarettes, I bought them too. This phone, own it. Still paying a bill on it, but I own it. These hats. Own them.
These microphones.
You need one.
We own them.
These microphones. He bought them.
I'm just saying.
This camera that's videoing it.
I know.
We got there.
I know. Bert Kreischer and Tom Segura are funny, but I stutter.
We are funny.
I stutter.
And our shit is paid for with sweat and tears.
I'm going to put this on. I'm gonna put this on the internet.
Put it on the internet.
We can outdrink and out.
I guarantee you.
Outdrink and out funny. Bert Kreischer.
I guarantee you. Bert Kreischer is funny. He can't keep up with this shit.
No, I stutter.
He does. It does. That's fucked up. That's not bullying. That's not bullying.
That's fucked up. That's fucked up.
That's fucked up. That's fucked up.
Oh, gosh.
Meanwhile, back at the ranch.
Okay.
We have went on a tangent all night. Are we going to do another one?
Are we going to do our send-off shot?
I mean, we were going to do the send-off shot an hour ago, but yeah.
So, I feel like this should be a 2-part episode, but they kind of fall hand in hand because after
I got to be honest, I feel like you can make this however many episodes you want to.
I feel
if you people don't watch both of these, you're crazy.
I feel like the beginning of this episode with him asking me about my addiction process, a lot of it was because of the shit that I went through.
It was.
And for most people who become addicts, I'm not saying all, most people who become addicts go through traumatic experiences. Not everybody's like me and lose a son and a brother that's 15 and a mother at the age of, my mom was a couple years older than you.
Yeah.
And then I can honestly say I have buried 4 important people in my life before the age of 30. 30.
Your mama would have been 50 this year.
Yeah. My mom had me at 16, 17.
Yeah, because she was 4 years older than me.
So,
and I got to be honest.
A lot of people.
If nobody else ever watches this, we will. He had a cool ass mama. She was badass.
My mom didn't put up with no shit.
She was an asshole.
Oh,
she was an asshole. But he had a cool ass mama.
My mom was the definition of a bitch, but she would take care of you.
She would.
I mean, my mom.
She would.
Great.
She had everybody's best interest.
My mom had a heart the size of a baseball glove.
His. He said, my.
She only put up with enough shit the size of a baseball. I mean, like
a lot of shit. Big ass pile.
Inside of a baseball glove, not a lot of shit.
No, I'm just fucking with you.
But
you do you.
Most addicts have a reason behind it.
Yeah, but you know what? At the end of the day,
most, not all.
At the end of the day, only the good ones come out of it. He came out of it. He walked right through that shit, ate a whole lot of shit, and come out of that shit. On the other side, a better person.
Whoa.
With a bigger perspective. Oh, no. You want more of that, not so much of this.
That jar is...
Yeah, I know. It was fucking full when we started.
But,
it was full.
Yeah,
I'm going to have to explain this.
I can honestly say that...
Thank you, Jesus. Help me, Tom Cruise.
Two of us, a backstory before we take this shot in this episode.
Oh, yeah. Now we're going to get all up in
We work together.
We do.
When we started working together, I don't think he quite knew who I was.
I had no clue. I learned a whole lot real quick. I knew who he was
because of my mom and his ex-wife were almost, like, we're basically best friends.
No, they were.
I mean, probably not as close as her and Misty, but...
Pretty freaking close.
They were close.
Yeah.
But, and then as the time has gone on, we have a lot more in common than we thought. Like,
Isn't it crazy?
You guys just heard from us talking, and it's not made up bullshit. I have picture proof. I have documented proof.
The connection,
he has picture proof, documented proof. Like, medical records don't fucking lie.
Isn't it crazy how life comes a full circle?
Yeah. And
talk about God one more time.
And the honest to God truth, like, the first couple times this dude made fun of the way I talked, I was like, I'm not gonna like him.
Yeah.
And then he asked me, he's like, does it bother you? And I said, you know what? I said, I'll let you know when it does. And there's only been one time on both sides.
Yeah.
Where he's like,
I looked right at him, I was like, too far, right?
He called me Stuttering Stanley.
I fucking love that.
And I said, that's enough.
I thought of it as a compliment because I fucking love Happy Gilmore and Billy Madison. And he's like, today, Junior.
Right.
Stuttering Stanley.
Right.
And I'm like, that's like the ultimate comment or compliment to somebody that stutters. I'm like, oh, this motherfucker. All right, I got him. And so one day we were at work and he said something. I was like, Stuttering Stanley. And he goes, you fucking cocksucker. I heard you. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Struck a nerve on that one. I didn't mean to.
And then the one time I got on his nerves was over a fucking Allen wrench.
I mean, we only have so many sets. And that set didn't have the one Allen wrench, and he took the one I needed. And honestly, it had nothing to do with Allen wrenches. I was just having a really bad day.
He was having a bad day.
Because I
happened to push that button one too many times.
I was having to be a bitch.
And he fucking threw the wrench at me.
Yeah, I did. I didn't mean it. I still feel bad about it because at the end of the
mean,
day, I don't give a fuck about Allen wrench. People are people. This motherfucker is my friend, and that's all there is to it. There's not Allen wrenches or any of that shit. I don't give two shits. If I'm not making fun of him, I don't like him.
Yeah.
I'm not making fun of him. Disclaimer alert, so it's not bullying. I would never make fun of him. I fucking genuinely dig it when he gets so excited and he's like, shit. Because it doesn't even
is that how funny
it does. It doesn't even go together. And he's trying to say
that's fucking great.
Shit. I'm like, yeah, there it is. There it is. That's it. That's the gist of the whole deal. I love it. I freaking love it. It probably annoys him because it's one of them things he can't control. I freaking dig it. I do. And so does Mitch. We get to talking about it and he's like, I'm kind of jealous. I was like, why? He goes, he gets really pissed off and really upset. And then he starts stuttering. And he's really mad because he can't control it. He's like, I wish I could do that shit just so somebody knew. I'm to that point. Fuck off. Don't judge me. I can't control it. I'm about to lose it. I don't have that. The only way I have it is like, look, I'm telling you, I'm about to whoop your ass. And they're like, okay, sure.
You just say you shall not pass like Gandalf.
Yeah. But if I was going, shit, they'd be like, oh my God, this dude's about to lose it.
I think I'm slightly autistic or something.
I mean, I could be.
No, me.
Me too. I'm on the spectrum.
Like, he started off saying fuck, then he said shit. We can't fuck with this guy.
Couldn't get it to happen. Shit.
All right. We're going to end this crazy escapade of emotions. And
this was a fuck show.
We had no intentions of this.
No.
My brother was supposed to be here. He got caught up at work. And
literally had a talk. We didn't know what we were going to talk about.
No. But here we are.
This is the beauty. This is the beauty.
We finished almost an entire bottle of
We did finish a whole bottle. Like, there's barely any in there. And I swear to you, I didn't open this until right before you got here.
So
I literally had no clue.
This is the backstory of shooting the shit show.
Yeah, it was kind
That's
of
the title.
Kind of an upset because
show
I was like, oh, we're not gonna have a good episode tonight.
Where we came from, what we've been through.
We've been through a little bit.
We don't want no sympathy from it.
No.
We've learned through life. We've pushed through things.
This has made us who we are.
Just know, and this is coming from a guy who said earlier he didn't believe for a while. Just know everybody has a plan. Everybody has a purpose.
God is good always. Always. Every day. All day long. He will not give you more than you can handle. This dude is proof.
There's a reason you're still here.
This dude is proof that God will not give you more than you can handle. Because if he would have given somebody, I'm telling you, dude, if he would give you more than you can handle, you would not be sitting here.
I can cheers.
Am I wrong?
I can cheers to that.
Am I wrong?
No.
Because if God, that was a big one.
I coughed.
But at the end of the day,
I finished it though.
That was rough.
I finished.
If God would give you more than you can handle,
I coughed at the end.
This guy wouldn't be here,
right?
Because he got way more than most people could handle. Like there's no two ways about it. You lost a son, you lost a brother, and you lost your mom.
In 10 years.
In 10 years. And there's not.
Almost lost my daughter too.
I know, but there's not a lot of people that can identify or sympathize with the shit you've been through. And the fact that you're still sitting here and you're still.
I survived being an addict.
I was going to say mentally. Well, whatever you call that. He's a lot not
mentally unstable.
But to still be functioning in society, and then to turn around and have a daughter that went through all the bullshit she went through, and to still walk off the backside of it, including addiction, and God knows there's a lot of motherfuckers out there that have dealt with meth and coke and all that shit, and are still in a hole.
If anybody who ever watches this, if you have a problem with
if you need help,
reach out to me.
Text us.
I will give you my number. I will guide you through what I did, and I will help you along the way. I will reach you to the right people.
But the fact that this dude's walked out the other side of it and is living a functional life, the sole parent in his kids' lives.
Well, Ashley, I mean, she does great.
She does. She does.
Great.
But she doesn't have to.
No, she doesn't have to. But
you
she
have
chooses to.
She does.
I mean, she's a great role model.
She's the best +1 you could have ever asked for.
Ever
but in the same breath, as far as caused him to be here.
Yeah.
Stepped up, took care of his girls when the other side didn't, and walked away from him. Like, you can't ask for more bullshit to be thrown on your fucking plate than this guy has had. And he's still sitting here. He's still a functioning member of society. He still goes to work every day. He still makes shit happen.
Instead of a twitch.
If that, yeah, you have all the twitches you want.
I have ADHD and crippling
At
depression.
the end of the day, to still be on the right side of the dirt, and to still be able to have a conversation with somebody.
And I still believe.
You damn right. To still have it in his heart every day proves to me beyond a shadow of doubt that God's real. There's no way. There's no way that all the shit that can happen to a certain human or a single human and still be alive at the end of the day, it's got to be God, dude. It has to be.
If not, I got some hellacious guardian angels.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Mine's like, I mean, when they say God will only give you so much, he won't give you more than you can handle. I got a guardian angel going, dude, slow down. Hey, back over here.
We're going to talk about that next time because I could go on for another hour.
Oh, me too.
But, yeah, I don't want anybody to, like, praise me. I just want...
No. I just want you to know that God's real, and that dude is proof.
I want you to know that if life ever kicks you in the balls or the vagina or yanks on your nipples, whatever.
Ooh, I like.
There is.
Was all that supposed to be bad? Was all that supposed to be bad? Just like the
to every disaster, there is always a
There's a silver lining in it.
I mean, like.
There's a reason for
disaster.
It.
Like I said earlier,
yes.
Whenever my son passed away, he saved 4 lives. I mean, like,
and that's amazing.
I mean, like, whenever my son or whenever my brother passed away, like it got me out of addiction. I mean, like, and
there's a reason for everything.
When my mom passed away, my daughter went through her bullshit, and I became stronger for that. And like, it was just like, it was always forever like. It's crazy.
I still wish
action there's an equal or a stronger reaction.
An equal and an opposite reaction.
And so, like,
I still wish your mama was around just so I could tell her she was a stubborn ass.
Oh fuck! If you ever think you're going through something rough in life,
it's always something worse.
Just all I can tell you from my end, and I mean even his end. I mean he went through some tough shit too, but from my end. It
not
sucks,
near as tough as his.
But you just wait a little longer. Because at the end of that rough patch, you just happen to see, like, you come over that hill and there's a fucking massive fucking green field. I mean, like, there's always something on the other side of that.
Don't be a quitter.
Yeah.
You can fucking stop. You can stop right there and let everything consume you.
Yeah.
And push just a little bit. Wait just a little bit.
I will say, shout out to my stepdad's new wife. Her name's Donna. I'm going to have to call her and tell her I shouted her out in this episode. But
I would like to get your stepdad in here. I'd like to get him to come hang out. Just being a stepdad.
Yeah.
I would like to get your stepdad in here and hang out with us and drink some beer with us and get that other side.
Yeah. Oh,
that other perspective. Oh, I know. I freaking love him. Just from the stories I've heard.
From what my stepmom, I just call her mom.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
Donna, she always told me, I thought your mom didn't raise a bitch.
Oh, I love her already.
And I take that as, you know what? She did.
Man up.
Like, it's time to fucking man up.
Man up. Yeah.
And so, if I could put anything on a t-shirt or a hat or whatever, whether it's woman or man.
Your mama didn't raise no bitch.
Your mama didn't raise no bitch. So it's time for you to fucking take it head on.
Say the word, I'll make it happen. Y'all say the word, I will make it happen. We will have shirts that says STS, Mama didn't raise no bitch.
No, it'll say STS on the back. Mama didn't raise no bitch.
Yeah, for sure.
With that logo in the middle.
For sure.
Mama didn't raise no bitch.
She didn't.
No.
I'll fucking make those now.
Because I can guarantee you my mom didn't raise no bitch.
Mine either. My mama should get the Congressional Medal of Honor for putting up with my dad for as many years as she has. They've been married for 54 years. There's no woman on the planet that ever asked to be married to a goucher for 54 years. I'm telling you.
Your wife will divorce you before.
I'm just hoping I'm dead before then.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't want her to have to divorce me because I love her too much. We love you all.
We're going to leave it all out.
God bless. I am so glad that y'all stuck around and watched this whole shit show.
We're going to do more shots, and then we're going to go to bed.
It has been emotional. Was not expecting that.
No. So
I'm probably going to have a mad wife when I get home because I'm a little bit drunk.
Oh, dude.
But it's all because of this.
Told me she was going to bed an hour ago, and that she was pissed off. So.
Bless her heart. Bless her heart.
She had a rough day.
Thank you, Jesus.
She finally got her
Help her Tom Cruise, ninjas are after her.
Well, she finally got her hearing aids in. She's been almost deaf her whole life.
Your wife?
Yeah. Like
really?
She's been considered to be actual deaf.
So when you flipped her off, that was like being nice and
no, like she can hear if you're in that chair, she can hear that close, but outside of that, she can't hear it. She had no idea the blinker in your car made a noise.
So if you stand 10 feet away from her and tell her to go fuck herself, she can't even hear it.
No. But
I have prayed for that.
She had got her hearing aids in finally.
Really?
And she didn't realize how much noise in life there is.
There's a lot.
Like we went to that program this morning.
Did you tell her how much we block out?
That's a dad perk.
How many noises in life that we block out?
She didn't realize this morning at that program for my daughter's award how loud it was.
Oh, yeah.
And so she had a massive headache.
And that's when you look at her and go, do you know what you've put me through? Do you realize how loud it is?
I don't do that.
No, you should, though.
Yeah.
Be like, now that you got those, you know how bad that hurt my ears when you was telling me how bad I was? And
but there'd be times like she was in the front room and Hayden be in the kitchen or whoever be in the kitchen and say something.
Like,
what? She would go, fuck she say? What the fuck she say in there? Babe, what'd she say? And I'm like, she didn't say anything. Oh, TV. I'm like, babe, there's no one in the kitchen. I mean, like,
calm down.
But yeah, she's had a long 48 hours with the hearing aids in.
All right, love you all.
Love you all.
What is that called? What are we calling it?
On this episode?
No, the shot.
The STS.
The STS.
The STS shot.
The STS shot. If you haven't had it, it's PB's, chocolate, peanut butter whiskey, and Old Smoky's banana pudding moonshine.
It'll make you drink a whole jar of almost each in a fucking 2 hours.
We drank a whole quart jar of banana pudding moonshine on this episode. I promise you, I literally broke the seal right before you got here. I didn't take anything out of it. I just broke the seal because I was like, this sumbitch has been...
And we only took a shot each last weekend.
No, that was a different bottle.
No, of the...
Oh, of this.
Yeah.
Yeah. 3 shots out of it.
Yeah.
And, yeah, that's a problem. That's a problem.
I'm taking, like, at least 1 or 2 more before I leave.
Oh, we're not going home yet.
But all right, guys, we love you. We'll see you next time.
Love you all. Thank you for everything you do.
If you like a survival tin, shout out.
What's it called? Ready, Safe, Survival. Ready, Safe, Survival. We got the tins.
Nephew's brain.
It is. But it's I'm trying to think. It's the Dreaded Woodsman on TikTok.
Yes, I have all of his socials. I'll post them in
the Dreaded Woodsman. It's Ready, Safe, Survival tins. One of these two has an O-light in it.
For every comment asking about the survival tins, you will get a hat.
Yep. We'll take care of you. We'll give you a hat.
Yeah.
Hook us up. Hook us up. We'll hook you up. Like, follow, subscribe, share, comment, all that shit.
Yep. We're going to go sit by a campfire and sing Kumbaya. So we'll see you guys
I don't know about that shit, but we're going to drink a couple more of these shots.
Peace, ladies and gentlemen.
Bye. Bye, Felicia.